So Lenny Bruce is the only comedian who can reasonably be compared to jazz. Until now! Because my comedy is like jazz, in that I think it's lovely, but people fucking hate it. Oh! People fucking hate my jazz, man. Oh, they get so angry. And whenever I say that, people who have paid to see me, like you, look sadly at me, as if to say, oh no, he knows. Yeah, I know. I've read all the things you've read. I Googled myself, I Binged myself, I asked Jeeves, he called me an arsehole. I am well aware of the extent to which everyone I've got to stop saying everyone hates me. My girlfriend said, Nish, you have to stop going on stage and saying everyone hates me. Now, I think she meant the next bit to be reassuring. It did not come out that way. She said, Nish, most people don't know who you are. I'm divisive. That's what I'll say. I'm divisive. I'm so divisive that I can divide a single organisation. The Times of London newspaper in the last 6 years has described me as being both one of the most talented young comedians we have and a left-leaning comedian whose stock in trade appears to be biting the hand that feeds him. Now, that second comment doesn't come from a comedy review. It comes from an opinion piece written by a journalist who happened to see me give a performance at an event, and he thought my performance was disgusting and offensive. The name of the event that I was performing at, I promise you this is true, the Freedom of Expression Awards. The edgiest comedian that's ever lived. Too offensive for the Free Speech Oscars. And the reason that I'm written about in the papers, which I think is weird, full stop, but the reason I'm written about in the news and opinion section of newspapers is because in the summer of 2017, I hosted a show called The MASH Report, which was on the British Broadcasting Corporation. It was a political comedy show. Imagine The Daily Show, but if it was weekly and had a budget of 3 pence. But we started doing the show, and I worked with a group of people that I really love very dearly, and we made a programme that I was really proud of. And in the summer of 2017, no one watched it, which was fine. Then in January of 2018, something terrible happened. People started watching it. Clips from the show went viral, and it landed on the radar of several people who did not like it. And all of those people had columns in conservative newspapers. And so I would open conservative newspapers and see articles with my face on it that just said, "Get the fucking comedy show off the television. It's the most offensive comedy show. Get it off the television. Get it off the television. Get it off the television." Then I'd turn the page and there'd be an article that just said, "Is cancel culture killing comedy? Have the woke left cancelled our ability to have a laugh?" Then you turn the page, "Get this f***ing Indian man off the television! He's making fun of Boris Johnson, my friend, my only friend!" Now, the reason that they were upset was they said that our show was biased towards the left of the political spectrum, and as such compromised the BBC as a taxpayer-funded public broadcaster's commitment to impartiality. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of the specific terms of the BBC's charter, but the BBC does have a commitment to impartiality in its news output. The BBC is not required to be comedically impartial. The BBC doesn't have to occasionally show an episode where Fleabag fucks an ugly priest. They don't have to do that. Oh, the BBC, Fleabag f***ed a hot priest. What about an ugly priest? Where is the balance in the BBC? What about a hot imam or a Buddhist monk who's all right from certain angles? But the intensity of the coverage and its hostility increased and increased and increased. And as the host of the show, I was often the face of those articles. And the negative press interest in me started to increase and increase and increase. Then it culminated in an incident that had nothing to do with the television show, but everything to do with the last major event to happen in my life before the world went on hold. On the 2nd of December, 2019, I found myself in either Park Lane or Mayfair. If you've been there, you know it doesn't matter. It's the same place twice. Next to each other. It's the same soulless unaffordability. For full context, the dark blue one's on Monopoly. That's who we're talking about.